So Genshin Impact players were surprised when MiHoYo first revealed ALOY from Sony's Horizon Zero Dawn as a playable character. This was the game's first collaboration event, which is quite popular in gacha games because it allows guest characters from different franchises to appear. And yes, that is how ALOY was available in Genshin Impact during the game's version 2.1 update. The collaboration with Sony allowed players who owned a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 early access to this character, while mobile and PC gamers needed to wait until the version 2.2 patch. But after getting ALOY, many players displayed frustration on several social media platforms, commenting on why the Horizon Zero Dawn protagonist should be removed and even going to the greater lengths to share ideas on how to delete the character from accounts. So yeah, what is happening? Is ALOY such a bad character? Why no one is using ALOY? So hello my dear Hillbilly City Trolls, this is your Mage speaking, and before starting off this video, I want you guys to like this video and subscribe this channel. So now Bard, roll the intro. So a strong complaint many fans have about ALOY's presence in Genshin Impact is that her character doesn't fit into the overall setting of the game. The world of Genshin Impact is based on a medieval fantasy mixed with different cultures. Just like Mondstadt was inspired by Germany, Liyue represents ancient China, Inazuma is based on Japan. An argument brought up by fans suggests that there could have been a better collaboration for Genshin Impact with similar fantasy settings. And it's because the world of Horizon Zero Dawn, on the other hand, is more futuristic and leans heavily into science and fiction. So yeah, the first main reason why no one uses ALOY is because ALOY doesn't fit in Genshin Impact's lore. Well, I think most of you guys know that ALOY is from Horizon Zero Dawn, and in the game, the world is filled with advanced technology. The enemies within the game are comprised of mechanical dinosaurs with futuristic type weapons, such as laser beams and missile launchers. The settings also take place in the United States, as remnants of the modern civilization can be seen throughout the game. So, the lore of both games are completely opposite from one another. One world has knights with ancient monsters and gods and dragons, while other has a machine T-Rex firing missiles from its back. Despite Genshin having a similar mechanical enemies like the Rune Guards, who can also shoot lasers and missiles, ALOY's presence in Genshin Impact doesn't fit into the overall narrative for some players. While ALOY doesn't have an in-game story quest like many other characters, during some gameplay dialogues, it was hinted that she was accidentally transported into the world of Genshin Impact. There isn't any backstory to this incident, but only that ALOY saw a flash of light and suddenly she was in a new unexplored world filled with mysteries. There are currently no official confirmation from MiHoYo that ALOY will receive future quests that will make her presence canon in Genshin's lore, but that can also change and fans may not approve about the decision of MiHoYo. And yes, it is one of the main reasons that why no one uses ALOY, or you can say most of the players. And the second and most biggest point is that ALOY is not a strong playable character. Another critique players have about ALOY is that she is not a strong character to use, especially for a 5-star unit. ALOY is a cyro elemental character who uses her bow in the battle. When compared to the other Genshin Impact characters like Ganyu, ALOY performs notably worse than her cyro allies. Her role within her team is to be a damage dealer, and several of her abilities increase her damage output, but many of her issues revolve around her elemental skill. In order to use ALOY as a primary cyro DPS unit in combat, her frozen vials talent and the ice bombs it creates needs to hit enemies 4 times in order for ALOY to enter her raging ice state. The raging ice state transforms all her normal attacks to cyro damage, but the main problem with this skill is that the ice bombs required to enter that state doesn't always hit enemies, which takes time and momentum away from players. This is most devastating to gamers for timed battles like the Spiral Abyss. And another known issue with ALOY is her attacks aren't as strong as when compared to other 5-star characters in Genshin Impact. So to be honest, ALOY's elemental burst is great for damage but lacks any effect. Prophecies of Dawn is an attack where ALOY throws a power cell, then shoots an arrow causing a cyro explosion. Aside from dealing damage to the groups of enemies, this skill has no other function. Other characters in Genshin Impact with lackluster elemental bursts have very strong elemental skills or passives, but the combination of ALOY's average talents make her less effective in battles. And yes guys, this is the biggest reason why most of the Genshin players don't use ALOY. But yes, despite not being the strongest character, ALOY is still very helpful for players lacking a cyro damage dealer. A lot of gamers are free to play just like me and may not have pulled for powerful characters like Ganyu or Ayaka. So yes, the free 5-star character will definitely help those less financially invested in the game. It's also important to know that not all the Genshin Impact players are dissatisfied satisfied with ALOY crossing over the game, and there are still many players who are using ALOY in their teams. But yes, most of the players don't use ALOY, and I have given you all the possible reasons that why they don't use ALOY. So yes, my dear Hillbillies Rituals, if you found this video entertaining, then like this video and also subscribe this channel to never miss the future updates of our videos. So now, take care, my dear Hillbillies Rituals.